Speaking, Matt, of things being ruined, and the death of World of Warcraft, as reported by many people in the field. Private auras are returning, and in this case, they're returning in Mythic Plus. Now, this is an interesting discussion. The most important thing about this discussion is...
everyone's insane.
That, but probably also, if you are not Mythic raiding, this in raids doesn't really matter for you. If you are not...
But what if it does? Trickle down, weak aura economy.
Just gamer Reagan, no!
Yeah.
And if in Mythic Plus, look, if you are doing Mythic Plus and you're going, let's say, not above a plus 10 in the new system, this doesn't matter. This will only really matter if you are actually really needing every tiny little advantage humanly possible, as if you're, say, Mythic rating, pretty much. Now, the problem with private auras, basically, they seem good as an idea, but as... actually, because we did mention Gamer Reagan earlier, as with all government interventions, they do, in fact, create the opposite effect. I don't know why...
that's true.
Why Ronald Reagan just turned into a, I don't know, centre or right-wing Northern Irish politician. Anyway.
God, I hate the government anyway.
But it is the funny little thing, though. Sometimes, and there are
preach watchers.
There are plenty of times where maybe there is a government policy to solve a problem, so some sort of thing is done. And, unforeseen circumstances mean it doesn't work. It's a bit like that with private auras.
Your weak auras are being taxed.
Your weak auras are being taxed. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Blizzard are expanding the private sector. But I don't know. Screw it. We have taken this entire analogy and we've thrown it in the bin. It's dead now. So, private auras. The idea is, oh no, these weak auras are trivializing our mechanics. Oh no, players feel like they need weak auras to play our game. Great. Do private auras that weak auras cannot see, basically meaning problem solved. What if, though, problem not solved? Because there could be workarounds. In the raiding context, those workarounds have basically meant that Mythic raiding guilds can just find interesting ways to get around this so that they can still gain an advantage, which, of course, is rational for them to do because they're in a competition. Such as using a macro to put information into the weak aura.
Fucking ludicrous.
Thus bypassing the private aura. But of course, you need somebody to make the macro. So it's one of those things where by trying to clamp down on this, the incumbents with the most resources, and I swear I am not trying to bring this into a government policy joke sphere, but it is like the more that they've regulated the World of Warcraft aura space, the incumbents who've got the most resources are benefiting from the regulation because Echo and Liquid will obviously have real smart people who can put together weak auras and stuff. Yeah. So that's happened in the raiding scene. Now they're bringing it over to Mythic Plus.
Yeah.
Meaning WoW's dead.
And I looked at the auras that they have done and I'm like, there is no issue here. There is no problem. Because one of the things is it hides information from weak auras. Because the goal is like, so say 7 people get targeted by a thing, right? And then the weak aura goes, these 7 people are targeted. I've assigned them locations to go. They go. That's the kind of deal where it's like you're supposed to, auto assignments. And that kind of applies the same way, like say you're looking at Razageth example, and it's like you put the colored markers for the bomb drops, people get colored markers, off they go. Simple as that. But if only one person got a bomb and there was a marker, you wouldn't need a weak aura.
Yes.
You wouldn't need DBM. It would just go, oh yeah, I've got the marker, I know where to go. So that's like, you don't need none of that shit. And then there's 2 people, it gets a little bit more confusing. But then if you had people get marked with the bombs, actually, good example. Also Razageth, actually, because they solved this problem inherently in their own thing. For this specifically, and that is markers that you actually like set ahead of time for visuals that make sense. So the polarities you get on Razageth and the storm thing. I can't remember the mechanic's name, but on the phase before the last, the phase 2, whenever you like get the polarities, you have to stack together, and it's the blue one goes in the blue marker, and the red one goes in the red marker. That's how that's the solve to all of these. You don't need WeakOr to tell you what to do,
or even if
to tell you where to go. The game just makes sense, right?
Now this would make it more dance-like, but if Blizzard wanted to do something like that, there could be 2 buffs, a blue one and a red one.
Yeah,
and
it's
they
like
have to go to different places.
It's like the volcanic heart thing. The major thing that people always talked about was volcanic heart, and that was the debuffs that people got on Natharian. They couldn't assign people where to go because you needed to go to very specific places very quickly, or you would there'd be no space left on the ground. So what happened? Thaddeus 2.0, yes, exactly. So what happened there was people were like, well, we need an add-on a WeakOr to assign this, because if we don't assign it, we can't do it.
Because our raiders can't think.
It's not even just that. It's like
that's a sweet way to think.
Because the players aren't pre-assigned.
Yeah.
You can't say, right, Jonty, if you get it, go over there, right? You can't say, right, Jonty, Dave, Jonty, Dave, Steve, you boys head that road. You can't do that.
I fucking Jonty from Illinois.
Yeah, so you can't do that, which means it has to be applied on the fly. But the game didn't give you enough time to work out, well, we have it, where are we supposed to go? Well, who goes where? There's times where that's okay if you've got enough time, there's only a few, but that became complicated. So that was a problem, and they wanted it to assign around that because it kind of needed to be done that way. For whatever reason, that was like the weirdness of the mechanic.
Well, imagine if you had a mechanic like that, and imagine if it goes on one player, and then 2 seconds later it goes in another player, then 3 seconds later it goes in another player, and then 4 seconds after that something happens. The way this is not exact, and you could pick holes in it, but if you just were to space those out, then you could informally say, okay, so the first person that gets it goes there, the second person goes there, third person goes there, and you don't need to use a WeakOr, you just use cooperation.
And now you put, instead of it being timed, or even if it is timed, you put you put a number above someone's head, and suddenly you've got limit cut. No, suddenly you've got a mechanic that doesn't require external information, because there's enough information given to you by the game to solve the problem yourself, which is the ideal. For some reason, that isn't always done. Some of that's because I think they struggle to have precise visuals, and they can't just stick a number over your head without making the number over your head system.
A lot of this is, I think, effectively, and then there's another thing there where numbers are good in a way that colors aren't because of accessibility stuff.
Yeah.
Because think about people who different color blindnesses and stuff, and then think about people saying, okay, this color, that color, go there. But people could be seeing different colors.
That's why that's why the colors have shapes in the game, right? That's why you can say purple or you can say diamond. That's why that exists. But numbers would be a way to handle it a little bit better. But yes, Sailboat, it does seem like from dungeon previews, fights are looking a little bit more interpretable. That's where I was going to go with this specifically, because I wanted to give you the example so you know exactly what's happening, right? And then I would bring up the examples
so
here.
This is all well set up for the community backlash, but we're but not in these cases.
Yes, so, there's some element of you have to play the game right. So, Anubikaj, Dark Orb. And as far as I remember, it's very apparent who he's targeting. And he points at you. He points the orb at you, and you go, well, that must be at me. Unless 5 of you are standing on a pixel, which case you don't know. Very obvious solve, fan out around the boss, make sure the space, because you need to take it's a fall off mechanic. It's a fall off hitting a target, so you need to run away. There you go. There's rolling acid on Reshinan, who's the Dawnbreaker boss. The last Dawnbreaker boss is the second boss. And rolling acid is a thing that I showed before, which is a green line targets one player. Yeah. It goes across the whole way across the airship, and there's a rolling effect that shows the direction it's going to roll. Yeah. If you need a WeakOr to do that mechanic, that is a full skill issue. That is a full open your goddamn eyes problem. If you and here's where it gets weird. If you're too busy looking at your buttons and your game UI to do DPS, and you can't see that you have a massive green line on your head, genuinely, that's a skill issue. 100%.
And your ability to play FF14 raid bosses, gone. Yeah. That's actually one of the things that a lot of WoW players will struggle with. Or at least that I initially noticed going into FF14. So I was like, wait, hang on. Have I got to look at the boss's animation? to see something, or a color of a thing.
Which is really funny if you're going to Mogashan Vaults, because the final boss of Mogashan Vaults, the Will of the Emperor, did exactly that. They had animation things that would call out which side they were going to cleave, and the amount of players I saw get hit in LFR. To be fair, they're probably doing it on purpose. But I remember back in the day, people getting hit by it all the time. I'm just like, bro, there's like a swiping animation there. Don't stand there, or you'll get swiped. You'll get swiped upon. Don't. I actually don't remember what Spinneret Strands looks like, but that's a case of, no, that's obvious as hell. You see that. Dark Flame Cleft, throw Dark Flame. Marks random players. It's a big purple circle. But I can see the assignment, because you would maybe go, oh, well, if you want to optimize your whack clearing, you'll want to make sure you have the positional data of the wax creations, and then you'll have like the calculation of where to go exactly on how to get most of them. But it's a long ass mechanic. It takes a short time, is like a few seconds. Like, you have plenty of time to position move out of things. It's like any other AoE. So this is just like, literally, if you need a Wakor to assign you to do this, you're either not a good enough player to do this, or if the problem is you're really pushing keys and you're externalizing tools to slightly take the weight off your calculation.
No, the problem's the game design.
Then the problem is that you're doing things that are impossible, but you're in fuck's sake. Weightlifting analogy, right? So there is, generally speaking, you're supposed to keep strict form a lot of the time on almost all reps, right? But some people are proponents of cheating final reps, because it's not as good as a full rep, but it does get you a little bit more tension for a little bit more time if you literally can't do it. If you literally can't do the bicep curl and you want to do a little bit of a shrug, or a little bit of, move some sort of body part or shoulder or something to get it up a little bit further, you could do that. But that is cheating a rep. That doesn't count as rep. It's like, that's the equivalent of doing that, where you're using something that you shouldn't be using to cheat out the final rep. So if you it's technically speaking, if they banned add-ons tomorrow and you only cleared 25 because you had the add-ons, then you didn't clear the 25. And I don't actually believe that in full add-on terms, because there's a whole bunch of stuff, but it's clear that is the case of literally what happens. That is literally philosophically and design wise actually true if you're offloading parts to other parts of game UI. And in this case, you're plenty of time to do that. And the design theoretically bakes in the time that you have to reposition. So if you're okay, I'm a mage, or say I'm a demonology warlock and I don't have demonic cores, I have to cancel my shadow bolt cast and cast only refresh.
You got to cancel your WoW subscription.
Refresh Doom or refresh something or do some instant that's not ideal. I have to do that while I'm getting over to this point. I've lost DPS. That is part of the fight design. Part of the fight design is downtime that's forced. That's why it's it's a melee. It's a melee friendly fight. It's a range friendly fight. Those are sometimes part of the design. Not always, because sometimes you can just go, we've added too many swordies. Whoops. Half of Shadow Hands, thanks. But that's part of the fight design. Same with anytime you're forced to move and you don't get damage, they don't go, well, the good player would keep up 100% damage. No, they go, well, we have to tick down the health a little bit. At least I hope so. Maybe they're just completely winging it every time.
Yeah. So I think this is a problem of how clearly communicated mechanics are to players, and then the inherent design of those mechanics. How computational is it? There are a lot of other games that are more they're more dance-like, so you remember sort of what you're doing. So in this, it's going to be more situations where essentially a dynamic response is required. But then if Blizzard doesn't give you enough time to think about that response, you'll want it to be computed somehow. Yep. Hence these. So The problem here, though, is if visibility was better and there were no add-ons, what we would have is a feedback loop that makes visibility better over time. Because it would need to be, or else the game would be kind of fucked. What we have now, though, is a very interesting feedback loop where to deal with a problem that Blizzard created, a new standard has been set. And now that that new standard exists, everything goes through that. So that means that trying to move us back to a better balance of things is going to be so much more painful.
Yeah.
Because we don't have the sort of the forcing function of clarity in WoW was never strong. Now Blizzard are taking it seriously, but the whole situation is really quite terminal. Quite far gone.
It's really
and embedded
bad,
within the community. Yeah. And it's the community embed that then ends up being part of the problem, because maybe there are players who do not feel like they need some of these.
Yeah.
Maybe don't have the weak aura pack and don't want the weak aura pack. Well, then what happens if a group starts requiring it? Now, the thing is, it's very easy for me to say that, and then for somebody to think, oh my god, I mean, isn't it terrible in World of Warcraft? People need weak auras to even raid nowadays. And that's not true. Like, don't take the overblown generalization. This is a specific problem for a specific and relatively small stratification of the player base at the highest end. And this literally does not impact the vast majority of WoW players.
Yeah, I have not raided with weak auras this season. With raid weak auras or dungeon. Like, I haven't done raid or dungeon weak auras or whatever. I use DBM on the ability timeline thing. Just because...
Yeah, that's all I use.
Because I don't have the brain power to, like, look at timings and remember them. I actually do need that to go, okay, well, when's the thing going to happen? Can I prepare myself for as a tank? Because I'm tanking a lot of them.
I just kind of enjoy, like, you pay attention to the fight and look at it, and in most cases, that works.
Yeah. I was like, a lot of time I don't even need DBM because I don't really look at it all that much unless it's specific. It's like when we were doing Heroic Volcaros, I was like, okay, well, I actually do want to vaguely consider what I'm doing, and I want to see when the taunt's coming in, so I know I'm like topped up to eat the blow, stuff like that. Is like, that's a slight optimization, and sometimes it feels a little bit quality of life because the fights are all otherwise so messy and so stuff happening all the time compared to like the more timer based dance fights of FF. But like, I only use weak auras for literally just the ability timeline and my own class stuff, basically.
I don't honestly.
Even then, I only do that for prop ad, I don't do for anything else anymore.
I don't really use class weak auras. Like
I'm trying to wean myself off them, basically.
Yeah, like, I get it, but I don't really feel like they're that needed. On some classes,
it
that's
depends.
Not the case.
It depends. There's some classes that's way more needed, though. Way more needed. Like, I would really struggle to do anything half decently on Feral with them. But, like, and there's so many small things. Like, Resto Druid, I could probably get away with just having an abundance tracker for when my Swiftmend is going to tree me. Because trying to track how many stacks you're on while you're doing everything else is a bit too much. But yeah. So, was there anything else? Yeah, there's just a couple of little things that, like, would be better with weak auras, but for this, I think, because we have, like, potential issues, and I think basically none of these are really likely to be issues, because this is extreme. This is worst case issues, I would say.
Yeah, well, they'll all be issues, just not for a massive number of people.
Yeah.
However, they will be a significant issue for people within, I don't know, maybe that quintile. Is it a quintile? Is it enough to be a quintile? Is it less?
No, I'm not even close.
Yeah, it's probably
it depends. The M plus seems really skewed. It's quite difficult to understand how big that is compared to the average player.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases. But, like, this is basically my point. Will dungeon mechanics be more clearly telegraphed than on weak auras? They've tried that, and they've gotten better and better and better and better and better. Every single thing. And I think, like, there's I feel like they just need to continually improve on and continually find everything and adapt over time to do more things like that. Whereas, like, well, M plus teams need dedicated employee developers to make workaround and macros and weak auras completely at the top. That is their problem if they do, realistically. Because fuck, should I bother? So before we get into the community backlash section, I do want to say, and we'll do that quick, because
Before you start a fight.
because
with
whatever. Yeah,
The entire
I'll
community.
say there's a really interesting thing, and it was sparked by a comment I saw in chat. It was someone talking about ninja changes. What was it? It was a while ago. Yeah, it was Dark Soul. You said, alternatively, why not cry on forums and ruin your class's rotation due to one fight having downtime, cough, ninja, cough. So I don't know exactly what that is because I haven't kept up FF the best the past couple tiers. But the past while, I should say. But there is a problem. And I thought about when you said about feedback loops. There is a real case of, and I don't want to just be like, you think you do, but you don't. Because obviously that's what, every time I say something like this, people say that, I'm like, fuck up. But there is certainly a case of feedback goes towards, I would like to have my problem solved.
So I'm just imagining somebody saying that to J. Allen Brackett
Yeah.
was called.
So they're like, you're like, I would like this problem solved. This is a slight issue. This is downtime in my fight. I don't like downtime.
Oh, there's a problem with my pizza, to make it a food analogy.
Yeah.
You're saying there's a problem with my pizza, and then the person's like, okay, right, I'm going to go, retrain the kitchen staff and change a whole bunch of things. And then you're just sitting there like, but my pizza's not right.
It's not even that. It's like, to me, it's more, my point is more that people will advocate for something for convenience sake to the point of removing off labor.
Yes.
And people will get, like, there's almost too much access to devs happening in a lot of cases. And obviously, it's fucking hilarious that I say that.
Grind
because,
my class until I'm smooth and featureless.
Yeah, because someone will turn around and go, right, well, like the Warlock's example, the Warlock Demonic Core example. Does mobility feel good? Yes. Does Warlock having a shit ton of defensives and also all the mobility in the universe without having to like think about it, is that a problem? Potentially. Versus other classes, other specs. You're going to have so much bloat that goes, well, if Warlocks get to move everywhere, everyone gets to move everywhere. And now the game is full of instant casts. And there's a little bit of that happened in FF with homogenization across like healer dots, not healer dots, healer like DPS.
Well, they turn into, they're no longer game developers. They're just the complaints resolution department.
Yeah.
And that's how I think sometimes a core design from a game can, a game can kind of lose itself because it's just continually solving its own problems in its own little, it's like everyone's just focusing little details, but like big picture design, capital D, ain't happening. Yeah. Because it's just little refines and tweaks. And I think that is how an incumbent game like World of Warcraft can then end up losing ground to maybe newcomers in its genre, which didn't really happen as much. No. In Warcraft's case, it was that it lost to other genres growing and then eating its players up. Because, of course, what are the devs doing? Are they doing big, capital D design? No, they're doing small d design.
Yeah, I mean, I think World of Warcraft is like, this is really funny because as much as as the game has been largely improved by paying more attention to users and listening to feedback in the past couple of years, there is definitely a case of historically feedback has been as big a crutch or as big a burden as has been a crutch to rely on or like useful. It's been harmful as much as it's been useful, I should say. Because I'm even looking at things like certain quests that they haven't tried to do again because people are like, I don't like it. Which I think about in specifically the mop stuff.
You think about Rel?
Where every single time I go do the Rel, Sully, and Amber quests and the... Oh my god, I forget his name. I'm such a bad person.
Sully?
I said Sully. The Genu. Can't mind his name.
Oh, Little Lou.
Little Lou, yeah, Little Lou. How did I forget Little Lou? I'm such a bad person. But they, I go... I've done these before. These are slower than me giga pulling. Bleh. And then
I'm an angry goblin.
Yeah, and then I do them and go, this is fun and cool.
Oh yeah, because
this is fun and cool. Fuck's sake.
As designers, they use the tools available to them to craft an experience that you had.
Yeah, you're sniping fucking cunts while Sully's running about planting bombs. That's class.
Yeah.
Can we do that more, please?
But
some shithead went, no, I don't like it. And then they went, you don't like it? We will never have fun again.
But here's the thing,
The players are as much the fun place as the devs at times.
People want progress.
Yeah.
And you know
At
what
the
gets in
cost
the way
of
of
everything else.
progress?
Fun.
Smelling the roses. Fun. All
Yeah.
of those other things. And think about why, you got your cookie clicker games, but the idle games.
AFK Arena, let's go.
AFK Heroes of fucking cookie clicker, I don't know.
Someone I know tried to get me to play an AFK, idle game because it had nice character designs, and I was just like, fuck off, you soulless dickhead. And he was like, fair.
I've never talked to him again.
That's not true, but so that's the part where bro, it's so scundering to see all of the stuff that World of Warcraft got bullied out of not doing anymore over time, and some of it is completely makes sense. Completely makes sense.
So Dark Soul Super said Ninja lost its opener and rotation for Endwalker launch because people refused to play around one skill with animation lock on Zodiac lifting you up. No more Raiju chaining into other Raiju and less fun.
Gonna hit you with a hard disagree on that. The Raiju chaining was a bit wank, and I actually prefer having the opportunity. Mostly because
oh my god, big fight.
Downtime and design and stuff.
So happy
fine.
I have no horse in this race.
But literally, animation locks in FF fucking suck. There is a good reason they're all been yoked into space, because no one likes them. They don't feel good. I get that a slightly different rotation is fine enough, but honestly, it's try telling me you'd rather play with Assassinate than Dream Within a Dream, and I will call you a liar to your face.
Now, what are those and what do they do?
There's an off GCD ability that yeah, exactly. Dragoon was the animation lock floor tank because jump kept you in all of the AoE and you died forever and all your 7,000 jumps.
This is an opportunity for me to mention the Chalamet trinket.
Yes, exactly.
It's only almost got me killed once.
Yeah, so Assassinate and Dream the Dream were Assassinate is an off GCD ability that does damage. It had a very heavy animation lock. It gets upgraded at level 56, I think, to become Dream Within a Dream, which is the same ability, but it does more damage and looks better, and it does not have animation lock. Animation locks are just you're casting a melee ability for no reason, and it sucks.
Well, some of the animation locks, it's kind of weird, right? Because I think about hit stop.
Mm-hmm.
What was the game I was playing? Yes, I was playing. There is no hit stop on your normal sort of melee abilities in Diablo 4.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh my god, all this art's great, and why does my massive hulking barbarian going like this and hitting something feel
like nothing?
Like nothing. And yeah, there's no hit stop. There you go. That's the reason. So what is a little bit of that hit stop? Well, it is. What I'm trying to say is the animation lock wrote large into a big hero sort of crazy ability is, I guess, it's just trying to juice it too hard.
Yeah.
Whereas hit stop's got to be applied right. In D4, having none of it in some of those abilities makes them feel awful.
Yeah.
Too much of it though, and then it ends up feeling restrictive. So it's it's an interesting little thing to talk about, I suppose, because a lot of those locked abilities, to me, they feel really cool when you use them normally, and then they're extremely annoying otherwise.
Yeah, because they're restrictive, but in a lot of these games, the restriction, oh yeah, you're right, death from above. Yeah,
Death from above.
Death from above was the I'm sorry, my rogue just died. Why? Because he used this ability that was stronger than Eviscerate. Whoopsies. Sorry. It's that's kind of cool. I guess a lot of the problem is it's very hard to find locations in games like those designs where you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Get fucking deleted, loser. Doesn't work with my ability stops me in place for a few seconds. What was it? What was the example I had? Oh my god. I was playing something just recently too. What was it? I have no recollection of what I'm even thinking of. But it was something where it was it was not being able to move or moving properly during certain moves. I think it was a 2D platformer. What have I been playing recently? What the fuck am I even talking about? I don't know. But it was something that I remember thinking about it a lot and going, the ability to move when you're hitting buttons and not being able to move when hitting buttons is so crazy different. Even when it comes to platforming and how finely you can control a jump. In a game that's tied tightly around positioning, controlling positional input is very, 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 very important. Very important. How do we get on to this? Oh yeah, Ninja, the feedback changes, yes. So I think that's a case where like the feedback is fine. This felt like shit. But that's where the struggle of being a developer is. Where does this kind of sucks? When is that it sucks but it's worth it, and it sucks but it's not worth it? Monster Hunter things, that is a very, very, very good comparison. Because if you play a Monster Hunter game and you come from other character action games, your first feeling is going to be, this game fucking sucks. How does anyone play this dog shit?
I played Rise recently.
Yeah.
How
does anyone play this dog shit?
Can honestly say that playing Monster Hunter Rise for the first 30 minutes, I thought the entire world was gaslighting me into an objectively awful game that I hated being good.
Yeah. It sure feels that way.
That's how it felt.
It sure feels that way. And then you learn it and you go, oh, it sucks, but it's worth it. But a lot of games are, it sucks and it's not worth it. In the same way that like, you know, like the same way Souls games, you can't instant dodge out of your attack.
Yeah.
You commit to button presses. There's a lot of that. It's like, yeah, you kind of, you actually, you're allowed to do that, but you have to make it worth it. And in these games specifically, because they're very high on positional requirements, especially when there's a lot of latency involved in online games, for like FF specifically, if you're like half a second or like a fraction of a second off because animation lock, you hate it so bad.
Yeah.
In MMOs, like in Diablo 4, you really want to be super careful about stopping momentum.
Yep.
Because if you have an ability that stops your movement for 1 second, that's going to feel like you're slowing down for 1,000,000 years. Even though it's like, oh, it adds like 2 seconds to your like run of a dungeon. It's like, nobody feels shit because I'm having constant like 100 millisecond interruptions. That's going to be shit. Unless you're orb weaving. And that's the perfect thing about orb weaving. Or like attack moving improperly and things like that. The difference between like watching a good like League or Dota player or weaving properly versus someone who isn't is fucking insane. Because you'll have someone who can like maximize that, and it feels really good to min-max exactly how much you can move between your attack cooldowns and get as much movement as possible with that. And that's great as hell. That's fantastic. But then other times you're trying to run and you auto-attack and you're like, why am I stuck in this auto-attack forever? I hate it. And you're like, that's part of the mechanic that you start to like. Yeah. And it's all like, what feels good and what doesn't feel good is basically my point. And how players will say, this feels bad. And it's developer's job to say, does it feel bad? Should we make that feel good, or do we need to make something else feel better to compensate? And that's a case where if you had a, you know, Hardcast Pyroblast, for example, Hardcast Pyro fucking sucks how to do that, but it was worth it.
Yeah,
it was worth it.
I know it's like that in Glacial Spike. Like,
yep.
It's that thing. Whenever you immediately play something like, say, a Frost Mage or Demon Hunter back when it was Lamau No Brain.
Yeah, like no one gets mad about I-beam. Yeah.
It feels immediately amazing to play.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, a week later, you are completely bored.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There is a reason, because if you smooth out all the texture, then you will have no more texture left. And yeah, I mean, if you want to think about, say, why, in terms of human engagement, TikTok, YouTube, various different, you know, these platforms are able to beat stuff with where the content has a 500, 1,000 times higher budget. It's because of texture, not polish. That applies to how your classes play as well.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite example of like something lacking texture is, and I think this GIF probably did untold damage to the video game community for a while.
Oh no!
Do you remember?
What's he going to?
In the same way that Egoraptor's video about Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time was the worst thing that ever released. Basically, a lot of criticism that wasn't criticism, it was all bullshit.
Well, yeah, is the whole point not that he's really stupid and also bad at playing game?
Yeah, but okay, for a long time,
who wins in gamer competition? Him or your boy DSP? Egoraptor versus Darkside Phil.
Obviously DSP. DSP cannot lose.
There we go.
DSP literally on camera and nothing changed. Everyone just went.
It was amazing how he was able to blank space on camera and nothing happened afterwards.
DSP never loses. At least in the long run. In the long run, always wins.
Oh, Matt.
Actual like
Matt,
full.
No, I've worked out.
Full trickster god.
He didn't do any damage when that happened because he was shooting blanks.
Oh, very good. Very good.
I'm sorry.
Very good. Yeah. So the example I was actually talking about, and we'll talk about this video game again shortly. It's, you remember the Tomb Raider GIF, right? Remember the Tomb Raider GIF where it was someone did a grey box version of one of the like escape things. One like the running away and everything's like rumbling and you're about to fall and you're about to go and your stuff. Someone like grey boxed out the movement pattern with none of the environments, none of the weather effects, none of the like manufactured danger. Manufactured? Am I fucking FF12? Am I an FF12 character? Manufactured danger. And it was just there was no sound effects, just box up, right. I like that. Oh, so I'm actually playing the thing on the right that's soulless and lifeless and empty, instead of the thing where all the stuff is happening and Lara's in danger. And obviously that's the point where they didn't sell that she was in danger enough. But at the same time, people were very function without form over it. And like, window dressing doesn't matter. It is only the game that matters. And a lot of people stuck that in their heads and then forgot that vibes are important.
Yeah.
Not to repeat last week's conversation again.
Oh boy.
But it was like, yeah. It turns out if you're running forward and the character feels like they're in danger, that's fine. Even if you are holding forward. It would be better if you were holding other buttons or pressing other things, sure, for better gameplay. But at the same time, all that form has a function. But like the player feedbacky bit of, this does not matter. This is not interesting gameplay. Like, yeah, that's true. So
Scary. We may even start talking about yellow paint again soon.
Fuck, I hate yellow paint. Mostly because I see it and I think of yellow paint instead of enjoying the game.
I have a really easy
They
way.
need to remove it just so I stop getting meta thinking.
Here is how you can end all gamers.
Yes.
So if you're a game journalist, all you need to do is get yourself a bucket of yellow paint. You go up to a bridge, go to the handrail of the bridge, paint a bit of it yellow. Done. Gamers can't fucking stop themselves.
Oh god. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'd be like, oh, I know there's a costume for Eve over that fucking bridge. I'm gonna climb that shit.
Holy on buddy years, wee.
The base of the game is yellow paint. How do I think about this? How do I feel about this? Oh, dear me.
So the community backlash, Matt.
Yes. Everyone is doomsaying, but everyone also understands that just telegraph the abilities. Fucking idiots, easy.
Segment them.
Which they have.
Yeah, basically.
Cax
is right.
Yeah. They're telegraphing.
That's
everything will be shit. Yeah, fine. Predicting it now. You'll get booted out of pug keys. No, you won't. Don't pug key. Don't. If you only get booted out of pug keys if you pug keys. Respect yourself better. Well, like obviously, like it's still completely correct. Like still completely correct. I imagine it's not going to happen.
Well, Dranos is coming here with quality content.
Actually, I will say like these things when trackable by raid frame add-ons would make more sense, because like raid frame showing this guy has a thing that you should deal with is good. Yeah, and I know a lot of them have like raid debuff importance, but there's a lot of overlap sometimes. Because I was healing recently without any add-ons, and I was just like, oh yeah, actually saying who's about to get hit by something is not the easiest, because you have the translation layer of you can't have friendly nameplates in dungeons or raids because you can't see shit. So like targeting someone in the world is not the way to play the game, but you see things more accurately in the world. So it's a kind of a struggle to do that properly, I think, to heal them. So like having like a bespoke glow on a frame when someone has a thing would make sense, I think. Like imagine Farak goes, I'm going to, I don't even know, does he have a fucking debuff? He does, yes, he has the debuff that killed us loads at the start. Imagine like they had a little bespoke frame glow for that. A lot of effort, but we can't fucking sick.
Well, yeah, actually,
kinda sick. If your frame was a wee bit on fire, you're like, ooh.
This is actually what some add-on things rob us of. Because you could, if everyone was using the same raid frames, you could justify that development time. And then you could start to do interesting things that are playing on the actual... Okay, there's a bit in the narrative, right, of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void that is relevant to this, trust me. Basically...
Really?
Oh, yeah. You're in your ship, and it is totally the normal you're in your ship UI, right? But a narrative event happens and it just turns off your UI as the lights go down in the ship. And it's like, oh yeah, well, of course my UI's turned off. You fucking did that, and look, all the lights in the ship turned off. And it makes sense. So there are little bits of design that you can do using UI. Even think about how different reticles actually change how gunplay feels in various video games, right? That stuff's actually really important. So what you're saying then, Farak's ability does a unique thing on a bar.
Set your fucking uniframes on fire.
Yeah.
Suddenly, we have absolute cinema. Because, I mean, that's exactly what... Nier Automata does that quite a bit. Where it's like, there's the attribute you're setting settings is like, you've been walked through 2B's actual settings, but they're your game settings. And you're like, you set it immediately, oh, fuck, we're in meta-narrative territory, let's go. And yeah, like, there's that'll send meta UI gameplay where you're against a trickster boss who makes your UI untrustworthy. That shit is the fucking best. If you can interface with a player...
Please don't make that. Don't make that.
Do
encounter.
that.
Please.
Don't
please.
not World of Warcraft. No, Jesus, no.
That's what I'm imagining.
Jesus, no. Fuck it. World of Warcraft does do that.
Oh.
In the greatest expansion there ever was. Mists of Pandaria. I actually forgot I meant to bring this up. There is a cave under Ludo Narrative Disco Biscuits. Absolutely. No, just very briefly. I'll talk about this one quest. You go down under the Temple of Black Ox, Usos Temple, and they have a secret down there, and it's the Sha of Fear stuff, and there's all these little bits of Sha of Fear, and they hit you with a spell called Fear of Death.
Oh.
It drops you to 1 HP, but it doesn't actually change your HP whatsoever. I don't know how they do it in the game end, but it does actually, like, you fucking panic because it like dims your screen and everything, and you're like, fuck, but did I? And you hit your defensive and heals and shit, and your health bar doesn't move. But it's the fear of death. You're not dying. You're not even losing any health.
Yeah.
You're just afraid of death. And I spotted that when I did some questing on the PTR Bobby Mix, and it hit me like a bus there. I remember it's like that. I was like, that's fucking amazing. That's the shit games are made of. It's specifically that stuff specifically gets me very excited.
There's loads of little bits of MOP that do that well.
Yeah, it's why I'm disappointed in a lot of games that think they know what how they're trying to be cool when they don't do shit like that. But as soon as you do something like that, you get like a whole 2 points.
Yeah.
That's so good. That's so good. Yeah, it's fucking sick. It's amazing. It's like, oh, how have you used your UI layer to represent an emotion or a feeling in a player like that? That's what video game design is. See, people who are like, my spreadsheet, fucking, how do I get itemization on the go? Fuck you. Make the UI fuck players up.
How do I get itemization on the go?
Sorry, I lose. When I get excited about video games, I certainly lose a little bit of my ability to articulate.
I just love
yeah. So it was like, fucking, how am I going to get someone to like do their dailies 4 days in a row without like giving them a shit ton of rewards? And it's just like, do a story segment where something happens. You're like, something happens and it's really fun. Cool. Go.
That was the most stage 1, stage 2 question mark profit I've ever seen.
I'll tell you why I got blue screen because I was thinking about something Blue Archive does. That's what it was.
No!
Yeah. Yeah, I did the prologue of the final lap, and there's one shot that I was like, oh my fucking god! Ah!
Someday, if I could take my Charlemagne trinket into a Cataclysm heroic, my life will finally be complete.
Very good. Very good.
So,
very
there
good.
we go. The discussion has happened. Dratnos made a tier list of how well Private Auras worked. And I actually think that's really good feedback and useful. So big thumbs up to that.
Yeah, this is fantastic. This is excellent. It's just, I mean, this is way too many characters for anyone to read. So, it should just call it S tier, A, B, C, and Big Mom Sad tier. But yeah. Wow, look at that.
Some of Flex's tweets recently
Flex
have been so good.
top of their game, man. Top of their game. Yeah, and obviously, yes. Yep. More accessible, pull back, not hide. That's a good idea.
So there you go.
Yeah.
That's the situation. Matt,
The sitch.
this is over.
I have
No more discussion.